Okay, it's working. Supposedly. 49 cents a kilowatt. I'm not going to be charging off network anytime after this soon. But I have $10 of credit on Electrify America, so let's do this. Welcome everybody. I have not used one of the regular chargers, Electrify America, ChargePoint, EVgo, or any of those other things since Chatamo has been taken off all the machines, because I had a Nissan Leaf for a very, very long time. And not a very, very, very long time, just a very, very long time. And obviously we had the Chevy Bolt and now a Kia EV6, but those cars also charge at Tesla superchargers now, which is way cheaper than anything Electrify America offers, EVgo, or ChargePoint. So we really haven't been charging at all at CCS machines. But this company asked me, hey, you know, they said, sometimes there is no superchargers, which I don't know about. I've found superchargers pretty much everywhere, easy peasy, and they always work. Where if you come to Electrify America, sometimes they don't work. Sometimes the charge points don't work. Sometimes, a lot of times, EVgo doesn't work. But in those rare instances where you just need a quick little boost to charge, you can't do it because they're CCS. Well, I don't know. I seen out there, it's always good to have the adapters. You know, you never know. And this company, I don't believe it's a name. I just believe it's letters, and you may be able to spell it out, but it is jelhfip. Got with me and said, hey, if we send you an adapter, could you do a quick video about it? And I said, well, of course. I love adapters. You know, adapters are great, whether it's for your cell phone or for your car, or for anything else for that matter. And it came, and I did a quick little unboxing, not on video. I just took it out of the box and was holding it and playing with it. In fact, when I'm done charging here, I'll show it to you. But what a well-built product. My Chatamo adapter from Patrick at Electrify, extremely well-built. The Chatamo, the CCS to Chatamo, incredible product. Every Nissan Leaf owner needs that adapter. There'll be a link in this video for that adapter if you drive a Nissan. And or any other Chatamo vehicle. It works on all Chatamo vehicles. But if you drive a Tesla and you want an adapter to be able to periodically charge at places like this, which I think the only time I'll actually charge at, it'll probably be EVgo. I think it's EVgo that does it on specific days, like Earth Day or something like that. They offer free charging for a 24-hour period, certain holidays. So I'll probably, you know, I have the adapter now. I'll be able to plug in, get a free charge. And I like that. But for the most part, if you got to travel, these are one of those type of charging stations where if you have a Tesla, you want to charge Tesla superchargers, you know, like 19 to 22 cents a kilowatt hour compared to, what was this one at the beginning of the video, 46 cents in the afternoon? That's just crazy. Even the highest paid Tesla one around here is 36 cents. So these are way overpriced. And I probably won't be using them much unless it is a free charging day. But the adapter, extremely well built. It's nice and heavy in a small form factor with lots of little safety features. Let me unplug this and let me charge for about 5 minutes. That's probably going to be, God, $10 at one of these chargers. That's just crazy. Because this is my very first CCS, look at this, CCS to NACS adapter. I don't know much about these. I have held one before. I think one that Tesla actually makes. One time I was in Four Corners, Florida, and a Tesla ran out of electricity on its way to the supercharger. I don't know how you do that. There's so many superchargers all over the place, and there was actually one less than 5 miles away from him, but he ran out of juice, and he pulled into a charger at Four Corners. And I helped him push it close enough to the CCS there, and he had a Tesla made adapter. And while he was trying to get in or get it close enough, I had his adapter and I was putting it into his car and trying to stretch the cable over to lock into the CCS adapter part here. And I noticed right off the bat, the Tesla one is extremely light, the one that you get through Tesla. This one here has a little heft to it. It's about the same exact size, but it's a little bit heavier. I know there's some heat protection in here. Actually, let me get the box. There's some interesting stuff on the box. This video up. On the front here, it does say specifically J1772, which is that right there, to CCS1, which is also right there. You just open that flip. Now, this is what I like about that's a strong spring right there. But most of these things just have a little rubbery thing you just pop on, it dangles down and pops up. This is actually mounted on a spring swivel, and it's really well built. But that's a 1772 turn, you know, conforming into a CCS and then into NACS. And it does have the little safety switch here, the little plunger that lets the Tesla charger know when it plugs in that, hey, you're plugged in. It pushes it in. Once this goes into the car, it plunges it, and that pushes it back into the charging handle, and it lets it know that it's locked and secure. It says here on the back of the box, it's waterproof and dustproof, temperature controlled protection. I'm assuming that's why it is so heavy. There's probably some decent electronic components within here. It has an overcurrent protection, so it protects from any surges, short circuit protection, over/under voltage protection, has a lot of protections, leakage protection, lightning protection, and ESD protection. I don't know what ESD means. Let's ask Grok. Hey, could you tell me real fast, hold on, my AC just fired up for some ungodly known reason.
That's odd, isn't it?
Yeah, hold on a second. So a company just sent me a CCS to NACS adapter for the Tesla. And on the back of the box, it says all these different protections. One of the protections is ESD protection. What is ESD protection?
ESD protection guards against electrostatic discharge. That static zap you get from rugs or clothes. In your CCS to NACS adapter, it shields the charging circuit from sudden voltage spikes, stopping damage to the Tesla's port or the charger's electronics. Keeps everything safe during high power sessions.
All right, thank you. So that's what ESD means. If any of you didn't know, I didn't know. Now we know. So yeah, it worked very first time. I don't know exactly how you're supposed to use it. What I did is I put it into my car. I disconnected the Electrify America cable, plugged it in. That was one thing I had an issue with. Well, because my hands were full, I was trying to record a video at the same time. And with the camera in my hand, it was the one good thing about having a flap that just, and the plastic, the rubber just hangs down, is you could pull it off and it hangs down. With one hand, it takes two hands. You're gonna have to flip this down, hold it down with one hand, and then plug the plug in. Because otherwise it just slams shut and you can't put it in. So that was the one issue I have. But all in all, I think this is safer, and you're not going to lose that little dangly rubber thing that would normally cover this port. So yeah, I like that. I just charged. Temperature on this thing is nice and cool still. Didn't get hot, though it is a cool day. It is 82 degrees and kind of sprinkly a little bit here in Florida, so not too bad. But yeah, all in all, I probably will use this more because of the cars that we had and Steph's Kia EV6. We still can use these CCS plugs around when we travel, and so I have money on all these accounts, from Blink to Electrify America to ChargePoint, EVgo. I have funds saved up just from my Nissan Leaf days that I haven't been able to spend. So now I can go around when I need a juice real fast and I don't want to break into any money, personal money or something like that. I could just say, you know what? I have $10 here. I have $15 there. Let's look for one of these chargers real fast, and we'll just use this adapter plug-in and use that money that I've already preloaded over the years. And so yeah, this will be getting its use at least for a little while. And yeah, if you guys own a Tesla and want a decent one of these, I'll be dropping a link down below. It, like I said, it's hefty. Actually, what are the ratings on this? It has to say on the box, not just the protections. Okay, temperature rating is 30 degrees Celsius to 50 degrees Celsius. Voltage, CCS1, 500 volts to DC 250 kilowatts. The 1772 portion is 240 volts to AC 80 amp. Do not use if damaged. Do not disconnect under load, obviously. Yeah, I've been so focused over the year, 2 years or whatever on CHAdeMO. Haven't really been focusing much on other ways to charge your car, which I'm glad I'm doing now, because there are a lot of charging options out there that people could take advantage of that are inexpensive but still well built. You know, at the beginning, when all these things were being created, everybody was going, you don't want to buy cheap, you don't want to get that, you don't want to buy anything from China for some reason. I don't know, everything we own is from China, and now all of a sudden we hate Chinese products. I don't get it, because like I said, everything we have comes from China. So do we distrust everything we already own? I don't. I know there is cheap things from all over the globe, but most of our products come from China, and it's fine. You know, we don't make stuff like this here in the United States. It would take us years to build factories to be able to produce this stuff. So at the moment, we are importing from all over the globe, and China just happens to be one of them. And so far, everything I've gotten from China that is electronics, from my iPad to my iPhone to my Samsung. Well, Samsung's not made in China, but to all my adapters, and whether, you know, they're made in Europe and also China at the same time, to the roof things here, to my wheel covers, to the lights, everything I have, I'm really pleased with. And after my first test of this unit, it was plug and play, just instantly worked. Man, look at that. I mean, look at the spring. That's some force right there. You're putting some finger pressure on that. Don't get excited. Yeah, but it's just well built. The spring, I mean, it's just high quality. I know it's high quality, and I'm assuming the components inside are. The case is well built. I don't know. If I needed this back, I wanted one of these when I first got my Tesla, and then I said, why do I need one? I got superchargers everywhere. There's going to be those times where you may not have a supercharger. Maybe you're in Key West, maybe you're somewhere else in one of the islands, and all you have access to is CCS. Well, now I could use it, and so could you if you click that link below. Until the next time, thanks for tuning in, and yeah, I'll anytime I use this, I'll be showing you guys that, hey, I'm charging at a CCS and I'm using this adapter. And I wish I could pronounce the name of the company, but I can't. But there will be a link below with the name of the company in there. Maybe you can pronounce it. I don't know. Until the next time, thanks for tuning in, guys, and we'll see you from down the road. Peace, everybody.